Welcome back to a new video. So this is the second workout of the week, and I again was very aggressive with the weightlifting movements, but I made some adaptations to the workout as I moved on. So there were more snatch doubles. There were 4 sets, and I believe they're originally supposed to be around 97 kilos. I did my first working set after this one here at 90 kilos. That one felt pretty good, and I went up to 100. I had what you could consider a miss. I would say it's probably a miss, but because I made the second one, I figured it was fine. It was one of those kind of, we'll see it here in a second, but when I caught it, it was like one of those where you felt like you had to run forward to be able to save it, and I just didn't want to, it was 100 kilos, so I didn't want to run it forward, and I was doing doubles, so I guess I kind of did like a Korean single there, and just brought it down. But the second rep felt good, and then I was able to go up to 110 again, for another double like I did yesterday, and that went really well, and I was actually able to go to 120 as well. The most difficult part of doing the doubles today on this 110 and 120 was actually standing up the actual rep on the second one, which is surprising. My big focus the last 2 days, and it's seemingly helped quite a bit, is just entirely on my left arm. Doing like the normal rep, the normal things that you think of, keeping the bar close and getting it into your hips and finishing and all of that, but really trying to be aggressive with my left arm as I'm pulling under and punching up, and that's helping a lot. I think it's helping get my left arm back a little bit more because of my misses recently. The left side, my shoulder hasn't actually been hurting, which is nice, but it hasn't been behind me enough, so it's kind of just drifted forward, kind of like that 100 kilo miss that I had, or that first rep, whatever you miss, or Korean make, whatever you want to call it. But really focusing on that's helped, and I'm kind of taking that here even to cleans, and really focusing on just being aggressive with my left arm, because I think it just kind of lags behind, and I think that creates a lot of the tipping and the imbalances that I have, is that because I've had that pain, there's just more weakness on that side probably, and probably some sort of impingement or something that's preventing that aggressive lockout that I'm able to get with my right arm more consistently. But the more I focus on it, hopefully the better it gets. Clean and jerks, I believe they were supposed to be like 117 kilos to start, so I did my first working set at 102, and because I knew I was going to take a couple big jumps, it was just 3 sets, so I went up to 125. This one felt really good. Cleans felt really good, but that makes sense because yesterday I had no hook, no feet, and I was able to do a 140 clean and jerk plus pause jerk. I was hoping this jerk would look a bit better. I was originally just going to do 140 again, but I figured since it was just the regular clean and jerk, I'd do 145. It was difficult, but I was able to get it, able to hold it above my head, and thinking about the same thing as I did with the snatches, trying to be aggressive with that left arm, and just really trying to punch it up, and I think that helped a bit. I've actually thought about it too with front squats, because if I start to fail front squats, my left side kind of dips down, or my left arm just kind of unlocks first. Both definitely do on front squats, but it definitely happens more on the left side. They were doubles again, like they were yesterday in the front squat, but I kept them all at 143 since they were not feeling the greatest. They felt fine, but I didn't want to push up again, and because I had gone heavy on the other lifts, I knew it'd be better just to focus on getting in some easier work with these. And even though front squats are never really easy, I believe it's just 4 doubles here. Nothing that was really too radical. They didn't move too great, too fast or anything, but they also didn't move too slow, and my positions were pretty good. I was pretty happy with the front rack and able to maintain all of that, and just the consistency of the reps felt good, which is nice. I just want to get better at those as always. I then had some push presses at the end. I had a weird thing happen with them, and that was on this first rep. So I did a double here at 70, then I went to the working sets at 102. I think originally it was just 100, so I just threw the yellow one. But on the second rep here, my right shoulder kind of twinged. It kind of hurt. You can kind of see there, like at the top, I kind of shake a little bit, and felt weird, but I was able to finish the rep. And then when I did all of these other sets, so I had 6 total, 6 doubles, I didn't have that same discomfort again until the last rep on the last set, which is really bizarre. But all of these were fine, and I was 100% committed that if I felt that on any of these sets, I was just going to drop the bar and be done. So I was really just trying to make sure the bar path was going behind my head, and it was balanced and all of that. And I don't know if that helped or whatever, but just didn't have that until the very last rep in the last set. And of course I didn't want to drop it on that one, but it it was weird. It's in my right shoulder, which is one that's, hasn't had issues, and probably just because I've done a lot of push presses the last 2 days and just a lot of heavy work, so it makes sense that something would break down. But besides that, I originally had pulls on here, but because I have both the sliders turned up on pulls for 6 days a week, I deleted those for today, because I'm not gonna probably do pulls 6 times a week. I just like to have that on every day if I like to do them, and then I'll just do them a couple days a week. I think it's recommended for 2 for the programming, but I'll do them as frequently as I would like, and if I don't want to do them, pulls are definitely something that I don't need as much of as everything else. I try to force myself to do things I'm bad at, like front squats and push presses, but pulls I can kind of get away with. I mean, if I have them 6 days a week, it makes sense to delete a couple of them. If I'm working out like today, it took quite a while to get through all these exercises. One other thing I wanted to mention, if you were looking at the beginning where I have the wrist wrap thing on, I have athletic tape under it, and athletic tape is not super tight on my wrist. It's not to provide additional support. It's actually that buckle that's underneath the bottom of my wrist. It was kind of pinching sometimes in different movements, so I was actually looking at some of the Chinese lifters, and they had like wraps or pre-wrap and stuff under their like leather wraps, and I figured I'd try that to see how that would feel, and it actually was pretty nice, so I might continue to do that. But as you can see, I kind of go back and forth between the Weightlifting House wrist wraps that I have and the Onyx ones that I have for the heavier lifts, and it depends on what lifts I'm doing. But if I need a bit more flexibility, the weightlifting ones or the like the stretchy Weightlifting House ones are better. But for stability in the main lifts, I've liked the Onyx ones quite a bit. But that's it for this video. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Peace.